with them, or he's in the process of concluding them before we invited him into the studio. Nee, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're well.
By His grace, I'm doing well.
Okay, and it's nice to have you in studio this morning. First of all, are you worried that United is not buying enough players, or you're happy with the ones that have been bought so far?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a concept. I think the new coach
Okay.
we have clearly is not a type who would go shopping.
Okay.
It's you kind of have a feel that he likes to build from the resources he have
Okay.
available with him, and I think that's the way to go.
Okay.
If you look at Ferguson's period, there weren't many to we weren't doing too many purchases around. We kind of used some of these guys who had come from the United fraternity, build them up, the junior teams and all that. So I think that concept would work. I think the coach knows the team so well.
Okay.
So yes,
you are confident that the coach
knows
what he's doing.
We are winning the league.
We are carrying.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
You don't want to believe
me. I join us in studio to talk about the media budget review. Let's move on to the budget, because this kind of target that you are setting, but in terms of setting target, is that not audacious?
No, not at all. If our second round performance in the league is anything to go by, assuming we put up the same performance from day one,
okay,
we could have been league contenders easily.
Okay.
We beat almost every big team in the Premiership. And it's not like we beat them based on Sherlock. We beat them based on tactics, based on performance. Recovery was perfect and all that. The playing body was a team. Okay. And so yes, if we continue in the same form, I'm sure
we can go there.
Yeah, we can. We can take the league.
Okay. Now let's translate this analysis to the budget.
The performance is the
same. Because I think that's one of the things most, and I know you are a numbers person. You're watching where is it that we are heading. So we said in the budget that we'll do this, that, and that, and that. These are the targets we've set for ourselves. Media review gives you a sense of exactly how close we are to achieving the targets we set in the budget. So when you pick the media budget, what sense does it give to you in terms of getting to those targets set in the main budget?
Well, first and foremost, we must understand what the budget is meant to do.
Okay.
The budget is just a guide for us.
Okay.
So, for instance, you are expecting a certain income or revenue to actually come in for you. Okay. And then you are also saying that I'm expecting to spend out of the revenue so much, and therefore, if your revenue in terms of the outstanding, the actuals coming in are not close to what you projected, your budget is failing. Okay. If in terms of expenditure, you end up spending more than you have budgeted, then your budget is failing. Okay. And you spend more, and your revenues are not coming in as budgeted, then it means that you are going to finance a bigger deficit. Okay. Which then leads you to debt. Okay. You accelerate debt, and the more you accelerate debt, the more you increase expenditure as well. Okay. And that is where we would say, well, a budget has failed. Okay. Right. So in that same context, if we put in this first quarter first half.
Yeah.
Clearly, this is not a budget that is failing.
Okay.
This is a budget that is on track.
Okay.
Are there risks? Yes,
Okay.
there are risks.
Okay.
Now, this budget has also been largely successful due to the management of the currency.
Okay.
Because the underlying factor in terms of all these achievements is the strength of the city.
Okay.
Now, if it happens so that, look, we started budgeting, and this happened somewhere in 2022, and 2023 continued throughout to 2024. If you cannot check the performance of your currency, because we rely in terms of expenditure very largely on the exchange rates.
Okay.
Our debt largely, partly, or I should say almost 50% is on the foreign currency. Your expenditure in terms of goods and services, the underlying base and the index is the foreign currency.
Okay.
Your capex is also largely based on foreign currency.
Okay.
And so if you are not able to manage that aspect well, then clearly your expenditures will go out of gear. And when that happens, and it's continuous, when it's continuous, I must say, then it causes an overheating. I also have heard people saying, you are not spending. But if I am spending within my projections, you cannot say that I'm not spending. Okay. Budgets can be prepared on commitment basis and as well on cash basis. Now, when you look at both ends, we look pretty good. So I am not so sure where that concept of you are not spending is coming from. Maybe they want to say that you are not being reckless. This is what I get. Now, there is a concept in finance which is not in macroeconomics. And that is operating leverage. Now, if I am a business, I'm looking at my revenues and I'm looking at my expenditure that has become more fixed in nature, right? And then that's which is variable. Now, if I can hold the fixed cost, right? And the variable necessarily in terms of how I generate revenue would also move alongside. Then, if I'm able to push up my GP so well, then I will be making more profit. I will escalate and accelerate in terms of profit. I would make more. Now, I believe that concept, although not developing macroeconomics, must be considered here. Look, if we are bringing in more in terms of foreign exchange, we are bringing in more in terms of income. And I assume that the fixed cost, in terms of this discussion, that our fixed cost will be basically our capital expenditure, salaries, and debts, repayments, and servicing. So these three. Now, if we can hold these three at bay and not move out of its walls, and we can really push up revenue, then we are looking at a period where we will be running budget surplus instead of budget deficits. And that rollback from where we have been for years would be a major turning point. for us. Now, the reason why we are looking good as well at the macroeconomic side in terms of the monetary is that because our debt or deficit financing is not so out of the blue, we do not need BOG to support the fiscal in terms of financing.
Okay.
Even with the target set by the law,
Okay.
that a certain percentage of the tax revenue can be financed by BOG, I think 10% or so. That is not needed in this context we are talking about.
Okay.
Consistently in the past, we had needed that and more than even what was given by law. And so you look at all aspects of the budget, and I want to find out where exactly we are failing.
Okay.
Yeah, and I cannot point it out.
Okay.
Well, it is for opposition to come out and say some of this stuff, but I think the discussion must be more reliable, I should say. Okay. That from both ends, those at the helm of affairs and those in opposition or at the minority side, I think that the discussion should be elevated a bit. Okay.
You don't see that?
I don't still see that. I don't see that. And that is my greatest disappointment, that in Parliament, these are people, millions of Ghanaians stood up very early in the morning to vote for. And if we are talking about an issue about this country's finances, I think that the discussion should not be that elementary.
You feel that the discussion has been elementary? Because typically after this kind of presentations, the opposition's views are critical to scrutiny. You're saying that they have not scrutinized this budget in a way.
Yeah.
Their scrutiny hasn't helped.
It has not helped. Look, up to date, have you heard anybody ask about the performance of the bond? If we are trying to return to the bond market,
okay,
right?
How are the okay?
What's the performance? What's the market price as against the face value of the bonds? How are they performing? Okay. Because this is something that we would need for long-term financing. Okay. For us not to go out there and borrow based on foreign currencies that exposes us to all sort of risk. Okay. Nobody have asked that from Parliament.
The question of the current bonds that we are, in fact, the ones we DDEP'd.
The one we did DDEP'd and all that.
Okay.
What has been the performance? Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody is talking about that. And this is Parliament.
You seem quite disappointed in the scrutiny that you are hearing.
Well, because you see, finance, money, accounting has no color. And it does not respect anybody. When you get it wrong, you get it wrong. It doesn't say that because you are Ghana or because this is the NDC in power, financing and accounting of resources and all that will be in check. And because Mr. B is in power or MPP is not in power, it will go haywire. And no, it's how you manage it. And I am saying that not all is well or rosy. Okay. There are risks.
Okay. And that was where I was coming to, what you see as the risks. But you were making a point, so please land for me. Then we'll come to another risk.
Well, so I'm saying that some of the discussions or areas in there must be looked at.
Okay.
what do we want to invest in?
Okay.
Where do we want to push money into?
Okay.
And nobody is saying that, okay, you are going to push money into A, B, and C. This is what you are projecting.
Okay.
Now, what will be the outcome?
Okay.
And how is the outcome going to support our finances and subsequent budgets in terms of revenue? What we need is more revenue.
Okay.
Now, in the budget also, the minister made a salient point, and I mean, there was a lot of emphasis on that because of the publican AI, we have made so much.
Okay.
And we've raked in more, and it's good. But nobody, it seems that people there basically are not interested in what is actually going on.
Okay.
Because if they are, somebody should be asking at this point, how many queries is the custom division of GRA have to deal with in terms of the valuations they are doing under the publican AI. And what is the risk in there?
Okay.
Because I can tell you there is a lot of risk in there.
The use of the publican AI.
Yes.
What's the risk?
The risk is that you may have made $300 million or whatever the figure is. But you would have also lost 600 more to the pockets of individuals at the customs division.
Because this is okay. One of the reasons they are trying to put in the publican AI is to reduce the intervention of individuals.
Yeah.
You're saying that even with that in place, you can still be losing money.
You can still be losing money.
How? Because of the queries you're talking about?
Yes, because if I raise a challenge, I petition that, look, my rates are not so much. It doesn't take the publican AI to go
to resolve
in there.
that.
It takes an individual to go in there. So if it is resolved, and what is supposed to come to government is going into people's pockets.
Okay.
Have anybody thought of that?
But in this case, I think they said the minister himself is involved in resolving some of these queries.
Well, the minister cannot be involved in resolving all queries. Do you know the amount of queries? That is why I'm saying it is. I don't know. You don't know.
Okay.
Why is nobody asking from Parliament?
Okay.
Give us the number of queries you have dealt with because of the publican AI.
Okay.
Because that is also in terms of time, distraction. It distract time. The time you need to do, and you may need more in terms of human resource and all that, delays and all that. So I am saying, have somebody thought about this to actually ask what used to be the case and what is the case now? Yes, no doubt there has been improvement. But who says that this improvement is final to itself? It is not.
So for you, there are petty questions that need to be asked that nobody
Because for me, what is going on, if it is so, then the market should be leveled. The playing field should be leveled. The playing field is still not leveled. If I bring a certain commodity product, and I don't want to be specific, the same brand, the origin is the same.
Okay.
Right? And I have to sell it at 200 cedis. And the same product on another shelf is being sold for 100 cedis. You cannot tell me that all these issues about, under invoicing and all that has been checked. Which means that there is still a huge room for improvement. And I'm saying, who is interested? I've not heard any parliamentarian actually querying this.
I see.
I mean, I don't know how best to put it.
Okay. So for you, there are still risks that need to be dealt with.
Yes.
One of them is still on the revenue side of things.
Exactly.
And you're saying the Publican AI is not enough to solve the problems that you identified.
It has done well.
Okay.
But we must seek to improve where we are. We should not assume the way it was presented in the budget, it is like the Publican AI has done the job. I am saying no, it has not.
You say one of the ways of checking is to go to the market. When you go to the market and look at the products, it will tell you that there's still a problem.
I buy, let's say, a ton of flour for 598 of wheat for $598 dollars.
Okay.
Right? Somebody brings in flour, finished, a ton at $300. Tell me how possible.
$300.
Yes, and it is still happening. And then you tell me, oh, the Publican AI is, solving our problem. And we can go on. We can go on and on. I am saying if I am importing this same iPhone from the same source, the same supplier, the same origin, right? Unless my appetite is so wild that I'm going to put 300 or 400% on this.
Why can that
Our
not
prices.
Why can that not account for it? Your appetite?
No, because the fact of the matter is you do not have much room to operate in terms of profit margin in this country.
Okay.
The costs basically eats up everything. You get to the port, you pay about 45% of the commodity price. And also take note that people have a measure or an ability to accept a price up to a point.
Okay.
And who does not want to sell? Who does not want volume? People want to move volumes.
Okay.
So if I can sell quickly, reduce my price and sell quickly, no businessman will sit on the goods. Mind you, holding these goods is also cost. Rent, security, electricity, water. So nobody wants to hold products for a longer period. It doesn't make business sense. So if somebody is forced to sell at a higher price, as against someone else who is selling at a very lower price and selling so quickly, you don't think that I would keep my profit so high and not sell? So yes, I'm saying that there are still issues that must be addressed.
Okay.
That must be looked at.
Okay. That's one of them. Which other issue?
Well, I have mentioned that.
Because, of course, when you're talking about the bond, it ties into our debt situation
and our debt situation and all that. Well, we seem to rely on the issue of gold.
Okay.
I mean, and I think that there is a huge risk drumming it too much, making it look like that is the long-term solution.
Okay.
I think that it has come to help greatly.
Okay.
And quickly, it is time to turn our focus and change the narrative into something else that can bring us more. You know, our structure is such a way that we have a narrow base, and we kind of keep the narrow base. And I think that it has eaten into our fiber so much that, look, we are not looking for alternative. We are not serious about looking for another alternative that could bring in more. I saw in the budget where we want to develop the gas and all that,
yes,
and blah, 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 blah. There is so much we can make out there. But as much as possible, I think there should be a clear focus on a new agenda to actually bring in foreign currencies on another article, completely different from what we are having now. And that is the way to diversify.
Okay.
And we need it urgently.
Urgently?
Yes.
So you're not talking what they call long term?
No. We need that urgently.
Now?
We need it like now.
Because one of the things we talked about greatly was the announced movement towards palm.
Yeah. And I think it is the reason I'm saying what I'm saying, because it looks like we kind of believe it's purely about investment rather than structure.
Okay. So putting money in there is not the most important thing?
No, it's a structure. It's putting a very detailed policy around it.
Okay.
And encouraging farmers to go towards that.
Okay.
And even non-farmers.
Okay.
You know, if the policy is so right and it looks good, no, my incomes are protected and guaranteed, why not? Say now you could choose to go to the Volta region and do palm.
So structure for you?
It is the structure.
So you haven't seen a policy arrangement around palm that convinces you that beyond spending money, you are interested in building?
Absolutely, I have not seen it. I have not seen that. I have seen what government wants to commit to that. But I'm saying that
structure
what should
before
have preceded that
should
be the structure.
Okay. Okay. And you're not seeing that structure in the area of palm?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we should be moving towards the integrated palm farming.
Okay.
Rather than just going to grow palm.
Okay.
You know, and that is what I want to see.
Okay. Okay, so palm, and then of course I know you've been listening. One of the things that the people have made a meal out of is the issue of 24-hour economy. Do you have same concerns when it comes to the 24-hour economy, or you are not a believer? Because I know there are many people who are not believers in the whole idea of a 24-hour economy.
Look, I had my issues with the 24-hour economy from day one.
Okay.
For me, I still maintain that it is a vision.
A vision?
It's a vision. Okay. It's never a program.
Okay.
Now, it will involve a lot of programs.
Okay.
To reach that vision.
Okay.
It will also take a lot of structural reforms.
Okay.
For us to get there.
Okay.
It will also involve a shift in attitude.
Okay.
Now, for me, I'm in the service space. Why should I work 24 hours when there is no demand for it?
Okay.
I can tell you one thing, that the first 4 or 5 hours my staff comes to work, are the most effective periods they work.
4 to 5 hours.
4 to 5 hours.
After that,
they are dancing around. The energy level is not the same.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So if I am allowed by law to vary the time of work, and not say 80 hours a week and all that by the Labor Act and all that, right? And I can get you for 4 hours and get somebody else for another 4 hours.
You would prefer that?
I would prefer that.
Because you're sure that the both to be very productive.
For me, I am paying for 8 hours. I don't pay you to be on break for 1 hour.
Okay.
Go and eat and come back. Now, you have a central business district where there are offices, there are shops and all that. And you sell akpeteshi around there. You can get akpeteshi around the ministries. You can get chobas that are serving akpeteshi.
By 2 o'clock, the guy is gone.
And then you want to do 24 hours.
By 2 o'clock, the guy is gone.
Yes.
Yeah, I see.
It is not for no reason that alcohol levels of certain percentages are not allowed in Washington.
Okay.
You know, it is not for no reason why prostitution is prevented around those areas, seat of government and all that. You know, but you come here and everything is available. You know.
So when you're talking about structural changes, it involves the whole architecture you have currently.
Yeah.
You have to pull it down.
Yes, the architecture is not right. You know, you may mean well, you want to get this thing done. It is possible, but a lot of things are going to fight against it.
Okay.
A lot of things are already fighting against it. You know, how does the central business district of Accra goes to sleep?
Yeah, it's usually sleep by 5.
Yes.
By 5, they are all done.
And prostitution takes over. Are we saying we don't know?
But that's 24 economy there, a new economy.
Well,
but that's an interesting.
You are saying that.
But that's an interesting perspective.
You are saying that. You know, the entire structure we have does not support the agenda or the vision.
Okay.
And I think gradually it will take several programs to get in there. And I think that we need to accelerate those programs so that people can see the effect of it. You know, you create the atmosphere and then people come in and take advantage of that. Those who sell on the street, streets and all that, and that we keep pampering and saying this and that and that and that and that. Look, if I'm a worker and I am on a shift and I'm going to close, let's say, at 9 in the evening, and I need to buy few stuff for the next day, where would I go? The malls are closing at 8 or 9. So I cannot go shop for some tomatoes and lettuce and what have you there. And then I come to our local market and it's closed.
Yeah.
Right? So you see how it fits in.
Okay.
It's on a need basis.
Okay.
if there is a demand at that period of time, someone will find a need to sell in the market. And we need to make the markets more structured, the markets more friendlier than we are doing.
That is correct.
Now check. All the markets have become stores.
Yes.
So I ask, if you turn all the markets into stores, where am I going to shop my tomatoes?
Okay.
Agbogboshi on the floor. At 9 in the evening, would you risk going to Agbogboshi?
At 9?
Yes.
Only God knows what they'll sell to you.
Exactly. At this point, we are still selling on the bare floor.
Okay.
You know? So it needs concerted effort from the municipal assemblies to organize themselves well, understand the vision well, know the programs to institute to get us there. And probably that is what a lot of people are not seeing. Myself, I am not seeing it.
Okay.
So yes, it's something we need to look at. But I'm saying the vision is right.
Okay.
What we need is the right programs and the restructuring of society to make sure that that vision comes into fruition.
In terms of that, what's your view on the 24-hour markets?
Well, I think I've basically touched on the 24-hour market. Where is that market going to be?
Okay.
Right? If you put that market in Agbogboshi, right? The roads leading to that particular market, it's not already safe in the evening.
Okay.
Right? The road is in bad shape. Now, the community around the market are virtually at sleep. Will you feel safe? There are no lights there. All the road leading to that side have no lights, no street lights. Again, the market where we want to put some, and I'm still using Agbogboshi because it's easy for all to identify. Everybody knows the risk around that area. What are you going to do about it if you have not structured those communities around? If you have not provided the proper security in there? Now, you may do it, and if people do not patronize those markets, you would have others taking over and using those same markets for something else.
Okay.
Which we have examples of.
Okay.
You know, ask yourself, where is the Osu night market? I don't see why we should do any of those markets when existing markets are dead. The Dansoman market is dead. The Tuesday market is dead. The Osu night market is dead. Now, you have not been able to bring up these markets, get them to be active. Then you turn around and say, I'm going to build a new market. Okay, I will ask you, what's the concept? What is going to be different
about it?
About it.
But in this case, they are even thinking about doing it nationally.
Well, I am saying that nationally or not, there are markets we know that used to be very active
that are no
longer active. They are a pale shadow of themselves. And they are not up and running as we speak. Mind you, we can make them active to serve a certain purpose. Rather than investing money into putting up at the markets again. Which will collapse after a period. So we need to think through these things well.
And I guess that goes back to your issue of structure.
Yeah.
Instead of money.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's quite interesting. A few things just to wrap up.
Yeah.
One, for you, when talking about risks, I was just talking about debt. The government was announcing the amount of monies they have to spend next year and the year that follows on debt alone. How huge a risk do you think that is? Taking into consideration also the fact that the government has reactivated a sinking fund and is putting money in there to pay those debts. Does it still present a huge risk, even using the sinking fund?
Yeah, there is a huge risk in there. Look, you are putting monies down. Those monies are not revenue in that year.
Okay.
There may be revenues now that you are putting down.
Okay.
These are monies that could have gone into investment.
Okay.
But we will have to put it aside because of, we know the reasons why we have to put it aside, because of the recklessness of some people. We have to put we have to put these monies aside, right? Only to meet our obligations next year and the year after. And the issue is, we are taking two shots continuously.
Yes.
2027, 2028. All over 50 billion. We are looking at over 50 billion. If we are financing an overall budget deficit of, let's say, about 40 billion, let's hold expenditure at bay and revenue same.
Okay.
What it means is that we are going to finance an expenditure levels higher than we are doing now. And the deficit would have moved to about 90 billion.
Okay.
And then, assuming we are able to get the entire money this year, that is fine. But if we are not, it means that a portion of it would have to come off 2027 budget.
Yes.
And that is where the risk is.
Okay.
Because it becomes clear that if you are not careful, then you would have to still go and borrow to finance it. If we are not able to get all that money in
from revenue,
okay, then we would have no choice but to borrow. And that brings us back to the same thing.
Should we be worried about a possible default ahead? Because the history is those countries that go into default, it's like it's predictable that there's another default line ahead of you.
It will be bad, very bad to default.
Okay.
It will be very, very bad for us to default. And that is why I like the way expenditure is being managed today. That if we can squeeze it so much and reduce deficits so that we will not have to borrow so much. And that is also showing, it is telling in terms of the treasury bills rates.
Okay.
which have really dropped.
Okay.
It means that government at this point is not borrowing so much, which would free a lot of capital on the market for businesses to go in there. And if businesses goes ahead to take advantage of those capital to do more business, then it means more taxes for us and more revenue, and that helps.
Okay.
But again, the risk is we cannot put, and I do not see it, that we are able to put the entire 54 or 57 billion in the sinking fund before the next year.
Okay.
Right? And therefore, we may still need to borrow. But borrow from where? That is why we need to ask, what is our local bond market looking like? What is the performance? How active has it been? That is why it has to be a concern for every Ghanaian.
And let me conclude on this before Abega takes over. The issue of the Middle East conflict, that's affecting fuel, which is a big input into everything, virtually everything. Is that also a significant risk for you?
A very significant one. I mean, the uncertainty alone, the trade disruptions alone. Currently, businesses will have to pay more. For the same things they were paying like $4,500 for, they would have to pay more for it because of these routes changes and all that, making there are containers that are still not in.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. Money gone, but the goods
you're still waiting for the goods.
Yes, are not still in. So you should know what businesses will have to deal with. And now it means that a lot of these companies and people doing business will have to look at new suppliers, which is also a lot of burden and costs for them. When you have already established your contacts there, you trade with, you know how to go buy things and all that, then all of a sudden you'll have to change your routes, which is costing more in terms of freight, and you have to change your suppliers, which means new negotiations and all that. I mean, businesses had to deal with that within these periods, and if it doesn't get solved at the point, we would find ourselves in a hot soup.
You still support Donald Trump?
Yeah, for many reasons.
We are done. This Nii Yarboi Annan is a financial analyst, and of course, we'll see you tomorrow with another edition of the Gold Morning Conversation. Coming up next, is today the day you do the gun thing? Today?
Yeah, so I'm staying.
My favorite.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. To be very frank, I don't understand the language so proficiently, but I enjoy the Germans.
A bank that cares for you.